Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati naistaki. Hare Krishna. Gokulanand Prabhu, why he is in online? Okay, I will ask later.
I have some people in the place helping with the air condition. They are fixing. So when they leave, I will go to temple.
Okay. Okay, he's traveling. Okay, no problem. Let him. Mute it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you want me to speak?
Mute it. 3, 6, 9, 12. 5 students, 5 to 14. Okay. Online students are missing. Okay. We'll start. What do we want to learn today? We will learn how to meditate on the sum total. Yesterday we understood if someone wants to come out or he wants to get rid of Rajas and Tamas, what is the solution? Meditate on sum total energy. So material energy, total material energy. Are these total objects, whatever is there. So by doing like this, what will happen? Why we have to meditate on Virat Rupa?
So one will get rid of ahankar, means not ahankar, enviousness and competition.
Yes.
Competitive nature.
Spardha Ashuya.
Yes.
Yes.
So when, like you gave an example of a student who is a topper in the class.
Yes.
So when we see him that the intelligence is related to him only, or the intelligence belongs to him only, then there is a competitive nature.
Yeah.
But when we see that, okay, that intelligence he has, that is the energy of Lord only.
Yes.
Then we don't have any competitive nature or any
everything.
investments.
If you understand that the total energy is the part of the Supreme Lord, that's a parenthesis, same thing. Na? That means they always try to understand this total thing is part of Supreme. So when we understood this total creation, total energy is a part and parcel of the Supreme Law, then what will happen? Then we understand the possessor is the Supreme. So why we have to unnecessarily compete with him? So this way, in this way, so one will come out from this, then his chitta will be purified, his heart is purified. So that he is eligible to meditate on so Lord's personal form. So now we have to learn how to meditate on this sum total. So that means we have to meditate on the Virat Rupa. Because in the sloka, what is the sloka number where it is said we should meditate on the Virat Rupa? 24. That means Sthule Bhagavataha Rupe. Sthule Bhagavataha Rupe. So these are the three questions are asked by the Parikshit. Yatra, Yatha, Yatra, Yadrishi. So how, where, in what kind of. So these are the questions asked then. So those are answered. Where one has to meditate, he has to meditate on the so stule bhagavataha rupe, in the gross form of the Supreme Lord. One should meditate. That is Virat Rupa. So that means one should meditate on the Virat Rupa. That means he has to see everything as the inclusion of Virat Rupa. So that is now we are going to learn that thing, how to do that. So now if you see the 14 planetary system, so there is a Patala and in the topmost is Satyaloka. So now this is the some energy. Now you have to see these are all located in various parts of the limbs of the Virat Rupa. Those things are explained, and also we have to see there are the lot of elements are there. Example, sound, form, smell, taste, like these are the different elements are there. That means objects of the senses are there, and also senses are there, and controlling deities of the senses are also there. You have to see all these elements also as inclusive to the Virat Rupa. That how we can do, that is explained from 26th onwards. पातालमेतस्य हि पादमूलम् पठन्ति पार्ष्णिप्रपदे रसातलम् महातलं विश्वसृजोऽथ गुल्फौ तलातलं वै पुरुषस्य जङ्घे. Translation: persons who have realized it have studied that the planets known as Patala constitute the bottoms of the feet of the universal Lord, and the heels and the toes are the Rasatala planets, the ankles are the Mahatala planets, and his shanks constitute the Talatala planets. That means in which part of the Virat Rupa these 14 planets are located, that we are going to study. So you are understanding now this. So in this Subodhini book, this very clearly it is given actually. Anyway, Prabhuji has clearly noted actually in the list. It will be very easy to quickly finish this. So Patala at the bottoms of the feet, Rasatala heels and toes, Mahatala ankles, Talatala shanks. And next sloka is coming 27th. Sutala loka is at knees. Vitala at the lower part of two thighs. Atala at the upper part of two thighs. Next Mahatala, Mahitala, earth, hips, Bhuvarloka at the navel, Swarga at the chest, Maharloka at neck, Janaloka at mouth or face, Tapoloka forehead, Satyaloka on the head. These are the various locations where these different planetary systems are located. And this yogi, he will be imagining, he is imagining these lokas are located at these parts of Virat Purusha. So here Virat Rupa is not imaginary. Virat Rupa is there. But this yogi is meditating like that. Because he is not seeing, now he is not purified completely. He cannot see the Virat Rupa with his bare eyes. So that's why now he is made dharana. In the dharana, what is the process? So you will be imagining some particular object and meditating on that. So this is the dharana actually. So now that's why here he wants to meditate on the total planetary system. So that's why he is imagining these planets are located at different parts of the Virat Purusha. Okay. We'll see the purport. Outside the bodily existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the manifested cosmic existence has no reality. Everything and anything of the manifested world rests on him, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. But that doesn't imply that everything and anything in the vision of materialist is the Supreme Personality. Okay? Everything rests on him. Sutre Manigana Iva. So like means Lord is like the thread in the garland where the various what is that? Pearls are hanging or lying. Similarly, everything is resting on him. So God, you will be seeing how this Virat Rupa is manifesting in the same canto, 10th chapter. When the Lord desires to smell, then the nose came, and when the Lord desired to see, then eyes are manifested. So like this Virat Rupa manifestation, creation of the Virat Rupa, you'll be seeing in the 10th chapter in this same canto. That is the that creation. Now what we are doing, what we are seeing now it is the reverse we are doing actually. This yogi is trying to, whatever objects he knows there are 14 planetary systems. Now he wants to meditate on that. Now those are all located on the Virat Rupa. Now he is imagining that they are all in the different parts of, because he is not able to see now the complete Virat Rupa immediately. That's why imagining. Yes.
To know,
Hmm.
just like Virat Rupa is a person, so
Hmm.
as this also not imaginary. So this person, just like personality walk, moves. So where does it stays the place for this person staying?
It is said already in the yesterday's class. He is lying in the Andakosha. Where he is lying? Andakosha. What is the diameter of that Andakosha? 4 billion miles. So in that he is lying.
Simply lying down, no
Yeah.
activity, other activity.
Yeah, he is there. So in the first canto, third chapter also we have seen Yasya Avayava Samsthanaihi Loka Vistaraha Kalpitaha. So there in the Krishna Sandarbha, what is the commentary we read? So this Loka is created, so in the form of Virat. So Virat Deha is having the same shape of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Okay, now but Yogi is imagining that form now. He is imagining. If something is not there, can you imagine that? Akasha Pushpa, you will imagine how it is. Huh? You will imagine. Karuna Sindhu Prabhu. No. Kargoshka Singh, will you imagine? Huh? Which the one is not at all existing, can you imagine? Yeah. Huh? Huh? No, we cannot imagine actually. Yes. Something which doesn't exist, we cannot imagine actually. Whatever you are imagining, that is which is existing. If you think there is a the sky and the flower in the sky, if you are giving some shape, but that whatever shape you are imagining, that is you are seeing in the market, that flower shape, not the not the flower which is in the sky. Did you see? If you want to imagine, at least you should have some conception of that. So the object which is not at all existing, how you can have the conception of that? If there is no conception, there should be some petals like this, shape like this. Conception should be there. The object which is not at all there, then how can you, there is no concept of that. Then if there is no concept, then you cannot imagine also. Yeah.
But one can say that, so there is sky and there is a flower. So we saw both,
Huh?
but the combination of them is imaginary. You know, if you see gold and you see a mountain and then you imagine the golden mountain, so the combination of that is imaginary. So in the same way, someone may argue that, you know, there are these planets and there is the body, but then when you combine them together, there can also be a type of imagination.
What you are saying, sky is there and flower is there, and so we can imagine the flower in the sky, like that you are saying?
But the combination of them is imaginary.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
if
like
you
rabbits with.
if you are imagining sky flower like that, then that is not the really sky flower you are imagining, but you are imagining the existing sky and existing flower. So that is not the sky flower, na? If you imagine separately, then that is a separate thing only. But we are asking, is it possible to imagine any object which is not at all existing? That's not.
You mean imagination is based on some previous experience?
Not experience, concept.
Concept.
Yeah.
You should have some idea.
You
about
should
it.
heard that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
When you already have experience and you are remembering, then that is not the imagining, that is remembering. That smriti is there and you are remembering that. You ate the rasagulla and now you are seeing the rasagulla, and now the taste is you are remembering. Already you ate. You are not imagining. But someone explained about the rasagulla, concept is given to you. Rasagulla's taste is like gulab jamun, but something different, and some sweetness is more and it looks white, like that concept is given, then you can imagine. But the object which is not at all existing, then how you can imagine actually? Because the concept is not there. Na? Yeah. So like this, now this yogi, he wants to purify his heart. So to do that, he has to see everything is the in connection with the Supreme Lord as the part of the sum total. That means as the part of the Virat Rupa. Everything he has to see like that. So, so for that purpose, so he started first. He is imagining. So Patala is in the lotus feet of Virat Rupa, like this. Patalametasya padamulam. The conception of the universal form of the Lord gives a, so this kind of conception. So he heard, and by that, what will happen? The conception of universal form of the Lord gives a chance to the materialist to think of Supreme Lord. So this kind of conceptualization, imagining like this, will lead to what? Think about the Supreme Lord. But the materialist must know for certain that his visualization of the world in a spirit of lording over it, not God realization. Must know for certain that his visualization of the world. That means now I am able to imagine the whole universe. So that means I am the master of this. Can you think like that? Yes, no, you cannot. So the materialistic view of exploitation of the material resources is occasioned by the illusion of the external energy of the Lord. As such, if anyone wants to realize the supreme truth by conceiving of the universal form of the Lord, he must cultivate the service attitude. So Prabhupada is also, yesterday is also, he was saying, if you want to realize the supreme truth by conceiving the universal form of the Lord, he must cultivate service attitude. If you want to realize the Supreme Lord, one has to engage this material energy in the service of the Supreme Lord, then he will realize the Supreme Lord. This Prabhupada is saying extra points actually. So here in this purport, for this sloka, you should understand that. So these planets are imagined in these limbs of Virat. That much. Unless the service attitude is revived, the conception of Virat realization will have very little effect on this seal. This extra point actually, Prabhupada's statement this is. I am not seeing any Acharya's place in the commentary, but Prabhupada is writing this. That means Virat realization will have very less effect on this CA if there is no service attitude. Yeah, obviously, without bhakti, any process will not give success. So obvious, you can support this statement by this theory. Even Nishkama Karma Yoga, if you don't offer the result to the Supreme, it will not. Similarly, yesterday what we have seen, even anyone, yogis, Ashtanga yogis, they do the dharana, dhyana and samadhi. So they also meditate on the what object they select. They need to select some object to go to the samadhi. So what they should select? They should select the form of the Lord. Otherwise, no, they will not get any perfection. That means moksha will not come. That's yesterday that Yoga Misra, Bhakti Misra Yoga. Okay. He keeps his identity as supreme spirit in all circumstances, and he is never affected by the three material qualities, for everything material is contaminated. The Lord always contaminated. The Lord always exists by his internal energy. The universe is divided into 14 planetary systems, 7 planetary systems called Bhur, Bhuvar, Swar, Mahar, Janas, Tapas, and Satya are upward planetary systems and one above the other. There are also 7 planetary systems downward known as Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala, gradually one below the other. In this verse, the description begins from the bottom because it is in the line of devotion that the Lord's bodily description should begin from his feet. Prabhupada is giving one more interesting point. Even if you go to the darshan, when you go to the temple and when you are getting the darshan of the Supreme Lord, what you have to see first? Feet, not the face. So you have to start your meditation or whatever seeing from the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. One has to get the darshan. Sukadeva Goswami is a recognized devotee of the Lord, and he is exactly correct in his description. Okay, next. Dve januni sutalam vishwamurte urudvayam vitalam chatalam cha mahitalam tajjaganam mahipate nabhastalam nabhisaro grunanti. Translation: the needs of the universal form are the planetary systems of the name Sutala, and the two thighs are the Vitala and Atala planetary systems. The hips are Mahitala, and outer space is the depression of his navel. And further is explained where these planetary systems are there. Next, Ursthalam Jyotiranikamsya Grivaharvadanam Vaijanosya Tapovaratim Viduradi Satyam tu Sirshani Sahasra Shirshanaha. Translation: the chest of the original personality of the gigantic form is the luminary planetary systems. His neck is the Mahar planets, his mouth is the Janus planets, and his forehead is the Tapas planetary system. The topmost planetary system, known as Satyaloka, is the head of he who has 1,000 heads. So how many heads are there for the Virat? Sahasra Shir. Why? Since Garbhodaka Vishnu is also having the thousands of heads. That's why here. So yeah, Virat Rupa is a prototype of the Garbhodaka Vishnu. That's why he is also having the thousands of heads. There, what you have to, yogi has to imagine what? There is Satyaloka. The effulgent luminary planets like the sun and the moon are situated almost in the mid place of universe, and as such they are to be known as the chest of the original gigantic form of the Lord. And above the luminary planets, called also the heavenly places of the universal decorated demigods, are the Mahar, Janus and Tapas planetary systems, and above all Satyaloka planetary system, where the chief directors of the modes of material nature resides, namely Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva. The Vishnu is known as the Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, and he acts as a super soul in every living being. There are innumerable universes floating on the causal ocean, and in each of them the representation of the Virat form of the Lord is there, along with innumerable suns, moons, heavenly demigods, Brahmas, Vishnus, and Shivas, all of them situated in one part of the inconceivable potency of the Lord Krishna, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. So, yeah, Prabhupada here, what he's saying, every one Brahmanda, one Virat Purusha will be there, and one Vishnu, Kshirodakasaya Vishnu, and Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, Brahmaji and Shiva. So like this, in the causal ocean, millions of Brahmandas are floating. That's why we have millions of the Brahmajis, millions of Shivas, millions of Vishnus are there. So this is total is material energy is the 1/4 of the total creation. That is 3/4 is the uh, yeah. Yes. Okay, like this. Is 3/4 is the spiritual planetary system, spiritual creation, and 1/4 is the material creation. Just for having some idea like this, it is said. In the Bhagavad Sandarbha, very detailed discussion is there. What is this 3/4 and what is 1/4? It is from the Padma Purana actually we are taking. Yeah. Question was asked by the one student. Could you please tell something more about these planets? Yes, these planets will discuss some extent in fifth canto. Especially Bhumandala will discuss, not the, and this above Maharloka, next Tapoloka, Janaloka and Tapoloka and Satyaloka. So these planetary systems, not completely, but at least Janaloka, Tapoloka and Satyaloka. So these things will be discussing in the third canto, 11th chapter. Little bit we'll discuss. And also in the third canto, 13th chapter. And also 12th canto also once again we'll discuss who is going to which planet system. So by the brahmachari, by following his brahmachari vrata, so he will go to the which loka? Is a Maharloka. And by the Gruhastha, no, Gruhastha, by following his Gruhastha rules, he will be going to the Maharloka, and Brahmachari, by following his Brahmachari life, he will be going to the Janaloka. I think something missing. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Brahmachari, Gruhastha, Vanapastha, Sannyasi. Yeah. First one is Maharloka, Janaloka, and Tapoloka, and Satyaloka. So this is for Gruhasthas, this is for the Brahmachari, this is for the Vanaprastha. Tapoloka is for the Vanaprastha, and for Sannyasis, Satyaloka. So like this it is said in the 12th canto, actually 12th canto. So that and nothing more actually is given. Yeah.
It's somewhere mentioned also eyes, moons and suns are eyes of Lord.
It will come.
And here is it is sun and moon planets are like chest. So how to understand?
This in the coming next eyes are the Garbhodaka, sorry, Virat Purusha's eyes are the Indriya Adhisthana Devata of the eyes. That is Surya. Surya is the eyeball, and the Indriya, that means the seeing ability, is the Rupa, is the form. So it will be explained there.
Even here, two different explanation appears to be.
That means now in this total creation you have the sun and also different moon and other things. Those how to, where to imagine, which part of the Virat Purusha you should imagine, that is given in the 29th onwards. Here what is said here, Prabhupada is writing, and each of them, the representation of Virat form of the Lord is there along with the innumerable suns. Where is the chest you are saying?
Here said, na, the chest of original personality of Godhead, personality Janjatic form is the luminary planet system. Here in purports is also given.
His neck, then
Yes, effulgent luminary planets like sun and the moon are situated almost in the middle place of the universe, and such as they are known as the chest of the original gigantic form of the Lord. So sun and moons are situated on middle place of universe, and so
Yeah. Actually, if you see the Bhumandala Varnana, so Bhuloka is there, Bhumandala is there. Then on the top of in the Bhumandala center is what? Sumeru. On that Sumeru, just with the some height, there is a one Loka mountain. On that mountain, sun is revolving, and above to sun there is a moon. And after that, so this Loka mountain is very is very height actually, like the Sumeru height. Just on the top of that Bhurloka and just above to that there is a Swargaloka. There is this all these dolphin in the dolphin shape, traces, different nakshatras, stars are existing there. So if you see the general position of the universe, so they are on the just top of the Bhuloka only, the sun and moon. So that's the middle portion.
sun and moon.
Yeah.
And when says sun and moon are eyes of the Lord, so when you say this Brahmanda, as
Eyes
Virat-
of the Lord are said as the in the coming sloka we are seeing the eyes of the Virat Purusha are treated as the controlling deities of these eyes. Who are that? That is the Sun Devata actually. Is the eyeball of the Virat Purusha is the sun god actually, not planet. Like that it is taken. Next, much description is not given even in the commentaries also. These planetary, about the planetary systems, we don't have. We have the the opulence Bilaswarga. About the lower planets, we'll be seeing in that same in the 5th canto, 16 to 26 chapter. In these 10 chapters, 11 chapters, we'll be seeing the opulences of Bhuloka. Bhuloka is having the 7 dvipas, and there are the various systems are there, various parts. Even in the Bhuloka, there's a middle dvipa is Jambu dvipa. It is having the now varshas. In that Bharata Varsha is there, and opulences of all these varshas. You'll be studying there. And after that, Bilaswarga means Atala, Vitala, Sutala, all these known as the Bilaswarga. It is also lower planetary systems, but there is also opulence is there. So that opulence, about them we'll be studying there. And after that, we'll be studying in that 5th canto different punishments. That means there is another places where we will be given with the punishment. Those places also are explained in the 5th canto. There we will be studying a bit more about these planetary systems. Next, okay, Indradayo Bahava Ahurusraha Karno Disha Srotramamushya Shabdaha Na Satyadasro Paramasya Nase Granosya Gandho Mukamagniridhaha. So now 14 planetary systems where they are located in the Virat Purusha, that is explained. Now we are going to see the different limbs of the Virat Purusha. That means we have so many objects still you have to cover. So those all are imagined as different limbs of Virat Purusha. How to do that? That is explained here. Indradayaha, these demigods, Indra and others, are located at what? They are all arms. His arms are the demigods headed by Indra. Next, the 10 directional sides are his ears, and physical sound is his sense of hearing. His nostrils are the two Aswini Kumaras, and material fragrance is his sense of smell. His mouth is the blazing fire. Because when you want to meditate on the sum total, you have to see the sum location for all these on the Virat Purusha. Then only you can meditate on the total Virat Purusha, so that that is equal to meditating on the sum total. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is writing a little commentary on this. Before, previous slokas, they don't have any commentary, but this something is there that will just cover it. What is happening here? Virat Purusha's arms are what? The demigods headed by Indra. And Virat Purusha's ears are what? 10 directions, which are nothing but these are our what? Our presiding deities of hearing. These 10 directions are the presiding deities for each individual of hearing. Understanding, Ujjwala? No. Huh? Yes. Dishas. So these dishas are 10 directions are there, na? 10 directions are also the Adhishtatri Devatas of hearing of individual. Understanding? Asmadadi Shrotradi Adhishtatrayaha Devataha. Who? That means these 10 directions are what? They are the Adhishtatri Devata. For every sense, there is Adhishtatri Devata or not? The presiding deity is there or not? So that the presiding deities of hearing are nothing but what? These directions, 10 directions. Directions. And these directions are what? Are the ears of the Virat Purusha. These 10 directions are the ears of Virat Purusha. And that means that gross element. And what is the hearing Indriya? That means the sense organ of the hearing is what? Is the sound. Whatever the object of hearing of us is the sense organ, hearing organ of the Virat. Understanding? What is the question?
Prabhu,
Huh.
one dig
Huh.
is one part of Virat Purusha, but here is the 10 digs are the one part of Virat Purusha.
What is the problem? 10 directions, in some of the 10 directions is equal to is the hearing organ, hearing limb, that's a location, that's ear. This is ear, and in this there is a hearing capacity is there. That's organ of hearing. That is no, that is the sound. That is sound. Okay. Next, like this, you should take the nose also. Who are the presiding deities? First, if you want to find out the nose of the Virat Purusha, you should first think of presiding deities of the nose for us. Who are those? Ashwini Kumaras. These are the presiding deities for the nose, and these will be the nose of the Virat Rupa. And if you want to know the sense organ, that means who is that sense organ of that nose? Our sense object of the smelling is the sense organ of Virat Rupa. Okay, that is the smell. Like this you should imagine. Parishit Maharaj couldn't have asked this. In exam also it's difficult to write and remembering all this. Why Parishit Maharaj asked this question about the Virat Purusha? Out of curiosity, but not out of desire of practicing. Not chikirsha, kevalam jignasa. So his jignasa spoiling our yeah. Huh?
This can have an exam.
Why? We want to check your jignasa also. With okay, the purport. Actually, in the commentaries, a few more things are given here. So, acha. Okay. The description of gigantic form of the personality of Godhead made in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is further explained here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The description in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita runs as follows. Oh Vishnu, I see you devouring all people in your blazing maws and covering all the universe by your innumerable rays, scorching the worlds, you are manifest. In that way, Srimad Bhagavatam is the postgraduate study. Prabhupada is saying that in the Bhagavad Gita, we are seeing Vishwarupa, and this is further explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So you'll be seeing about the Virat Rupa in this chapter and also in the coming 10th chapter and also once again in the 3rd canto, 6th chapter and also once again in the 3rd canto, 20th chapter. You'll be seeing this several times, this Virat Rupa. So that's why if you miss one time, you can have another chance. In the next time, 2nd canto, 10th chapter is telling about the formation of Virat Rupa. And once again, you are missing that in 3rd canto, 6th chapter. Yeah, it will be coming like that. It will be coming several times. It will come. Gokulan Prabhu, question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I was wondering if you can explain the difference between the Samasti Virat and the Vyasti Virat and the Iranya Garbha, which is, what my understanding is that the subtle form of the Virat Rupa. This terminology is mentioned in the text 29
Yes.
of in the
Yeah.
commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
Yeah.
And I'm confused about all this terminology. Samasti Vyasti and Iranya Garbha. Especially because Iranya Garbha is described as the subtle form, but I thought that it was the Vyasti, the subtle form also.
Vesti is the individual form, and Samishti is the total, that is a Virat, and Hiranyagarbha is, you can say Hiranyagarbha is the Brahmaji, you can say Virat Rupa is also as Hiranyagarbha. as I know actually. So Hiranyagarbhopasaka means the worshippers of the Virat Purusha, and which is nothing but the Samishti Virat. Hiranyagarbha means even Brahmaji also known as Hiranyagarbha, and Lord Vishnu is also known as Hiranyagarbha, and Virat Rupa is also known as Hiranyagarbha. They have the different context. Names are different. Here Hiranyagarbha means we should take Virat, worshippers of the Virat Rupa.
So it's the Samasti,
Yes,
Hiranyagarbha.
Samishti, yes.
And then in Vyasti, you say the individual.
Yes. Individual form. Individual form of not Lord, individual body. Ours.
Our body.
Yes. In individual body, who is the Antaryami? It's the Kshirodakasaya Vishnu. In the Samishti, who is the Antaryami? Garbhodakasaya Vishnu. Yeah.
So, this is related in the Tattva Sandarbha. At the end of Tattva Sandarbha, when Jiva Goswami is establishing the absolute truth through Vyasti and Samasti, that means Vyasti when we understand the difference between body and soul, and then Samasti is the 10 subjects of Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Asraya is related to that.
Yes,
Oh.
exactly. That is the same thing, because that is only we are going to discuss in the 10th chapter. We'll be discussing that. In the Veshti Purusha, Adhyatmam, Adidhaivam, Adibhutam. Adhyatma Purusha, Adidhaiva Purusha, Adibhautika Purusha. In the Veshti, how many Purushas are there? 3 Purushas are there. And in the Samishti, so is a sum total. And who is the Antaryami of that? That is the Ashray Tattva. So that means total creation. That means Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, Poshanam, Votayaha. These are all related to what? These are all related to the Samishti. Sarga, Atra Sargo, Visarga, Sthanam, Poshanam, Votayaha, Manvantareshanukataha, Vinirodha, Mukti, Rashrayaha. These 10 topics are dealing about what? About the Samishti. And Adhyatma, Adidhaiva, Adibhutam. These are the 3 Purushas we were discussing. And on top of these 3, there is individual Jivatma. 3 Purushas and 1 Jivatma. So this Jivatma is when it is having the attachment. That means when it is claiming these senses are mine, then that is known as what? Jivatma plus ownership on senses is equal to Adhyatma Purusha. This total body is the facilitator is what? Adibhuta. And that the controllers of these senses, Adidhaiva Purusha. Initially, Adhyatma Purusha and Adidhaiva Purusha are identified as one, because there is no individual functionality. But when this body is created, then they will be differentiated because their action is different. So like this, we'll be studying there also. We'll be studying anyway once again in this same canto 10th chapter that is coming. Yes, Gokulanand Prabhu, you are saying that is the thing actually. Veshti means individual. Okay?
Okay. Thanks a lot, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay. Next sloka, I am going to next. Dyo rakshini chakshurabhut patangaha pakshmani vishnorahani ubhecha Tadbhruvijrumbah parameshtidhishnya Vishnyam aposya talu rasayeva jihva. Translation: the sphere of outer space constitutes his eye pits, and the eyeball is the sun as the power of seeing. So his eyelids are both the day and night, and in the movements of his eyebrows, the Brahma and similar supreme personalities reside. His palate is the director of water, Varuna, and the juice or essence of everything is his tongue. Okay, everything. If you want to find, that means how to, our Indriya Adhisthana Devatas is the limbs of, is a limb of, or is the limb of the Virat Purusha, and our object of that sense is the sense of the Virat Purusha. Like this you should take. So same thing is explained. We can see eye pits is a blazing fire, eyeballs outer space, eyelids sun, sorry, eyeballs is sun. Sun means a devata you should take, not the planet. You should take devata. Eyelids day and night, movements of eyebrows abode of Brahma, palate Varuna, tongue taste juice and of everything. Next sloka. Shall I go quickly? I'll finish and go to next chapter. Chandansyanantasya shiro grunanti damstrayamah sneha kala dvijani haso janonmadakari chamaya duranta sargo yada panga mokshaha. Translation: they say that the Vedic hymns are the cerebral passage of the Lord, and his jaws of the teeth are Yama, god of death, who punishes the sinners. The art of affection is his set of teeth, and the most alluring illusory material energy is his smile. This great ocean of material creation is by the casting of his glance over us. Okay, cerebral passage. So Vedic hymns, just that means Vedic hymns you should imagine as the cerebral passage of Virat Purusha and Yama. So Yamaraj, you should imagine him as the teeth of the jaws of the Virat Purusha. So art of affection, you should imagine the as two rows of teeth, like the Maya as a smile, glance, Samsara as the glance. Purport: according to the Vedic assertion, this material creation is the result of the Lord's casting a glance over the material energy, which is described herein as the most alluring illusory energy. The conditioned souls who are allured by such a materialism should know that the material temporary creation is simply an imitation of the reality, and that those who are captivated by such alluring glances of the Lord are put under the direction of controller of sinners called Yamaraj. So Prabhupada is saying here, so this creation starts from the glances actually. And the glances of Virat Purusha is the Maya. Maya is nothing but the glances of Virat Purusha. And that's why that will allure the samsara actually, sorry. Samsara is a glance. That means attachment to the samsara means what? Attachment to the material world. So that is a glance. That is a glance. व्रीडोत्तरौष्टोधर एव लोभो धर्मस्तनो धर्मपतोस्य पृष्ठम् कस्तस्य मेढ्रं वृषणौ च मित्रौ कुक्षिः समुद्रागिरयोस्ति सङ्गाः. Translation: modesty is the upper portion of his hips, hankering is his chin, religion is the breast of the Lord, and irreligion is his back. Brahmaji, who generates all living beings in the material world, is his genitals, and the Mitra Varunas are his two testicles. The ocean is his waist, and the hills and the mountains are the stakes of his bones. Because you will be seeing in the 10th chapter, these hills and these are all coming from the bones of the Virat Purusha. You will be seeing the reverse actually. In that creation time, that when we are having this primary creation, Virat Purusha, so there you will be seeing the reverse of this. Now what Yogi is doing? Yogi is, whatever he is seeing, this mountain he is seeing here, and he is imagining these mountains as the bones of Virat Purusha. But in the 10th chapter, you'll be seeing how Virat Purusha's bones, when it came, when the Lord is desiring something, then these bones are formed. And that is the cause for the mountains. So like that, you'll be studying there. Okay. Next. Nadyosya nadhyota tanuruhani Mahiruha Vishwatano Nrupendra Anantavirya Swashitam Matarishva Gatirvayah Karma Guna Pravaha. Translation: O king, the rivers are the veins of the gigantic body. The trees are the hairs of his body. And the omnipotent air is his breath. The passing ages are his moments. And his activities are the reactions of the three modes of material nature. Okay. The personality of Godhead is not a dead stone, nor is he inactive, as is poorly taught by some schools. He moves with the progress of time, and therefore he knows all about the past and future, and along with his present activities. There is nothing unknown to him. The conditioned souls are driven by the reactions of the modes of material nature, which are the activities of the Lord. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the modes of nature act under his direction only, and as such, no natural functions are blind or automatic. The power behind the activities is the supervision of the Lord, and thus Lord is never inactive as is wrongly conceived. The Vedas say that the Supreme Lord has nothing to do personally, as is always the case with superiors, but everything is done by his direction. As it is said, not a blade of grass moves without his sanction. So Prabhupada is saying here in this, everything is out of will of the Lord. So when Lord desires, then the certain part of the limb of the Virat Purusha is created. So like this, with his desire only, everything is out of will of the Lord only, everything is coming actually. That is the cause actually. But he doesn't have any attachment for that. That means everything is happening under his direction, but he has nothing with that. He has nothing to gain or nothing to lose. He is not having anything with that, but under his will only everything is happening. So that the same is confirmed here. The air on which the universes and the planets within the universe exist is nothing but a bit of the breath of the unchallengeable Virat Purusha. Okay, next. Ishasya keshan vidurambuvahan vasastu sandhyam kuru varya bhumnaha avyaktamahur hridayam manascha sachandramah sarva vikara koshaha. Translation: O best amongst the Kurus, the clouds which carry water are the hairs on his head. The termination of days or nights are his dress. And the supreme cause of material creation is his intelligence. His mind is the moon, the reservoir of all changes. Moon means moon devata, you should take, not the moon planet. Okay. His hair on head. Clouds are imagined as what? As his hair on head. Twilight as his dress. Prime cause of material creation as his intelligence. So moon devata as his mind. Next, Vijnana Shaktim Mahima Mananti Sarvatmanontah Karanam Giritrayam Ashashvata Ashashvatar Gajanakani Sarve Mruga Pashava Shroni Deshe. Translation: the principle of matter, Mahatattva, is the consciousness of the omnipotent Lord, as asserted by the experts. And Rudradeva is his ego. The horse, mule, camel, and elephant are his nails. And wild animals and all quadrupeds are situated in the belt zone of the Lord. Vayamsi tadvyakaranam vichitram manurmanisha manujo nivasaha gandharva vidyadhara charanapsarasa apsaraha swarasmruti rasanu nasuranika viryaha. The translation: varieties of birds are indications of his masterful artistic scene. Manu, the father of mankind, is the emblem of his standard intelligence, and humanity is his residence. The celestial species of human beings, like the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, and angels, all represent his musical rhythms, and the demonic soldiers are representation of his wonderful prowess. Wow. The atheistic sense of the law purport is manifested in the artistic, colorful creation of varieties of birds like the peacock, parrot, and cuckoo. Aesthetic, sorry, atheistic bola. Aesthetic sense of the Lord. Okay. So that means all peacocks, parrots, you should do reverse. As the aesthetic sense, you should imagine. The celestial species of human beings, like the Gandharvas and Vidyadharas, can sing wonderfully and can entice even the minds of the heavenly demigods. Their musical rhythms represents the musical sense of the Lord. How then can he be impersonal? His musical taste, artistic sense, and standard intelligence, which is never fallible, are different signs of his supreme personality. So these are all personality actually. Virat Purusha is also is a personality, is a deha, is a form, is a stula rupam, gross form. And these are all located in their places. Next sloka. Brahmananam kshatrabhujo mahatma vidurarangrishrita krishna varnaha नानाविधाभिज्य गुणोपपन्नो द्रव्यात्मकः कर्मवितान योगः. Translation: the Virat Purusha's face is the Brahmanas, his arms are the Kshatriyas, his thighs are the Vaishyas, and the Sudras are under the protection of his feet. All the worshipful demigods are also overtaken by him, and it is the duty of everyone to perform sacrifice with feasible goods to appease the Lord. I think in exam also it's difficult to just remember all these things. Question should not be formed on this. Very difficult to remember all this. I think this question should not be asked. Yes or no? Chaitanya Jivan should be asked or not? Huh? Yeah. Mostly it will not be coming in the exam because we cannot remember all these. And also, okay, if you know at once, it is fine. No need to remember and meditate. Yeah, because we are not going to meditate on Virat Rupa. Yes? So we want to meditate on the beautiful form that is coming in the second chapter. So beautiful Krishna's form that we should meditate. So that's why we should remember of that description of those limbs, not these limbs of the Virat Purusha. So that's why I'm also going quickly. Yeah. Because we have a lot of things to discuss in this. It's okay. In the next chapters, coming chapters. यानसावेश्वर विग्रहस्य यः सन्निवेशः कथितो मया ते सन्धार्यतेऽस्मिन् वपुषि स्थविष्टे मनः स्वबुद्ध्या नयतोऽस्ति किञ्चित्. Yeah, who will read? Yes. Translation. Read.
I have thus explained to you the gross material gigantic conception of the personality of Godhead. One who seriously desires liberation concentrates his mind on this form of the Lord, because there is nothing more than this in the material world.
Yeah. So that's why materialistic people, for the materialistic people, this meditation is recommended, this dharana, not for the devotees. So that's why for devotees, these slokas from 26, it's not necessary to remember. It's not important also. Just you should have the idea. This whole creation is the sum total, is a part of the Virat Rupa. Like this you should remember. That is the thing. Yeah. So now Sukadeva Goswami, what he's saying? Hey, Parikshit, I explained to you this gigantic conception of the personality of Godhead. That means that is the concept, how to see everything in the parts of Virat. That is explained. This maybe there is some extent, but if you want to do the real meditation, maybe we need to have even further more details. So one who seriously desires liberation should What he should do? His mind on this form of the Lord, because there is nothing more than this in the material world. This is the topmost one. Purport in the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has verily explained that the material nature is only an order carrying agent of his. She is one of the different potencies of the Lord, and she acts under his direction only. The Supreme Transcendental Lord, he simply casts a glance over the material principle, and thus the agitation of matter begins, and the resultant actions are manifested one after another by 6 kinds of gradual differentiations. All material creation is moving in that way, and thus it appears and disappears in due course. That's a primary creation. When this glances, when Lord Vishnu glances Karananasa Vishnu on the Prakriti, then the time factor will agitate this Gunavetikaraha. Another name of the time is Gunavetikaraha. That means it brings the changes in the modes, that is leading to the production of the new products. So like this, those products will produce another products. So like this, there are these 6 changes comes under the primary creation that we'll be studying anyway. Primary creation, how many steps are there? For the secondary creation, how many steps are there? Those we'll be studying in the 3rd canto, in 11th chapter. In the 3rd canto, 12th chapter actually, starting 12th chapter. Less intelligent persons with a poor fund of knowledge cannot accommodate the thought of his inconceivable potency of the Lord Sri Krishna, by which he appears just like a human being. His appearance in this material world as one of us is also his causeless mercy upon the fallen souls. He is transcendental to all material conceptions, but by his unbounded mercy upon his pure devotees, he comes down and manifests himself as a personality of Godhead. Materialistic philosophers and scientists are too much engrossed with the atomic energy and the gigantic situations of the universal form, and they offer respect more seriously to the external phenomenal feature of the material manifestation than to the noumenal principle of spiritual existence. So that's why this meditating on the Virat Purusha is meant for materialistic people, because they like to. The scientists, what they do, they always trying to find the different planets and stars. So they are very much interested. So that's why for them materialistic people, this form is suitable to meditate. The transcendental form of the Lord is beyond the reduction of such materialistic activities. And it is very difficult to conceive that the Lord can be simultaneously localized and all pervasive, because of the materialistic philosophers and scientists think of everything in terms of their own experience. Yeah, Lord is also located in our heart, and also he is all pervasive. Simultaneously it is possible. That kind of phenomena these materialistic people cannot understand, because they everything try to understand with this so-called material logic, but Lord's potencies are beyond the logic. Those are inconceivable, because they are unable to accept the personal feature of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is kind enough to demonstrate the Virat feature of his transcendental form, and herein Srila Sukadeva Goswami has vividly described this form of the Lord. This is the Lord's mercy actually. For these materialistic people, they can easily meditate on this Virat form, and they can purify their heart. He concludes that there is nothing beyond the gigantic feature of the Lord in this material world. There is nothing beyond that. None of the materialistic thoughtful men can go beyond this conception of the gigantic form. The minds of the materialistic men are flickering and constantly changing from one aspect to another. Therefore, one is advised to think of the Lord by thinking of any part of his gigantic body, and by one's intelligence only one can think of him in any manifestation of the material world. the forest, the hill, the ocean, the man, the animal, the demigod, the bird, the beast, or anything else. Each and everything items of the material manifestation entails a part of the body of gigantic form. And thus the flickering mind can be fixed in the Lord only and nothing else. So that means everything, whatever we are seeing, is included in the Virat Purusha as some limb of him. So that's why meditating on any limb, so that will stop the mind to fluctuate. So this process of concentrating on the different bodily parts of the Lord will gradually diminish the demonic challenge of godlessness. So then Prabhupada is explaining here, why doing that kind of meditation, it's not that the meditating on the directly like you like the tiger. So not you should not meditate on the tiger, but you should meditate on the tiger as the some limb of Virat Purusha. Then that will make, that means that the atheism is going out. Then he is accepting the concept of godlessness, is the demonic challenge of godlessness is diminished, and bring about gradual development of devotional service to the Lord. Then what will happen? One will slowly, this demonic tendencies are gone and his heart is purified. Then in the next chapter we'll be seeing he is becoming, he can meditate on the personal feature or the personal form of the Supreme Lord. That is possible. But if you simply meditate on the particular object independently, I like if you see some channels, so some people years and years they are researching on the some ant or the some rat or some snakes. So they will be making the big documentaries, and years of time they spend and they do the research on this and meditating on it. But here what is said, that kind of independent meditation will not help, but they should see those as the part of the limb of Virat Purusha. Everything being part and parcel of the complete whole, the neophyte student will gradually realize the hymns of Ishopanishad, which state that the Supreme Lord is everywhere, and thus he will learn the art of not committing any offenses to the body of the Lord. This sense of God-mindedness will diminish one's pride in challenging the existence of God. Thus, one can learn to show respect to everything, for all things are parts and parcels of the Supreme Body. Explain the advantage of meditating on Virat Rupa from based on the purport 2.1.38. Write it. One time. Explain the advantages on meditating Virat Rupa based on purport of SB 1.2.1.38. Sadharvadhivrutyanubhuta sarva Atma yatha swapna janekshitaikaha tam satyamananda nidhim bhajeta nanyatra sajjedyata atmapataha. Translation: one should concentrate his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who alone distributes himself in so many manifestations, just as ordinary persons create thousands of manifestations in dreams. One must concentrate the mind on him, the only all blissful absolute truth. Otherwise, one will be misled and will cause his own degradation. So this is a quite important verse. One second. So Srila Jiva Goswami is giving commentary on this. एतदन्तां विराट्धारणम् उक्त्वा तद् अपवादेनापि तां पूर्वोक्तां भक्तिमेवाह स सर्वेति. This sloka is telling about what? This sloka is telling about the bhakti. Tam satyam anandanidhim bhajeta. This word is telling about which form? Virat form? No. Satyam anandanidhim means it is telling about the personal form. Okay? So once again, that means after explaining Virat Rupa, the dharana ashraya is the Virat. The shelter for the dharana is Virat. That is explained till 38. And in 38 sloka, once again, Srila Sukadeva Goswami is coming back and he is explaining once again, meditating on the transcendental form of the Lord. We started with the transcendental form and we are ending with the transcendental form. Yes or no? In the same chapter, what are those slokas? That's the Dhyana and Samadhi. 19th verse. 19th verse. There we are seeing Dhyana. One should meditate on the what? On the different limbs of the transcendental form of the Lord. And if whoever is not able to do that, for them, this process is given from the 20th to 38. Yes. And in 39, once again, he is apava. That means he is saying back that 19th sloka, whatever he said, that same thing he is saying. So whom he should worship? He should worship tam bhajeta. He should worship him. Who is he? Saha sarvadhi vrutyanubhuta sarvaha. Atma yatha swapna janekshitaikaha. Very important sloka. We'll be seeing this in the once again in the Bhakti Sandarbha also. But same thing. And here also we'll just understand here. Whom he should worship? He should worship Sarvadhi Vrutyanubhuta Sarva. What it mean? Yaha Sarvadhi Ityanuktatva Saha Tam Bhajeta Iti Yojitavyasya Kartuhu Vidyamanatvat Ayameva Ardha Saha Tatha Bhutaha Virat Dharana Siddhaha Yogi Virat Gatabihi गताभिः सर्वभिः धीवृत्तिभिः ज्ञानेन्द्रियैः अनुभूतं सर्वं विराड्गतं येन तथा भूतः सन् तं सत्यमानन्दनिधि. What is the meaning of this? Sarvadhi Vrutyanubhuta Sarva. Huh? Everyone is sleeping. Huh? Meditating or sleeping? Yeah. Explain the Jiva Goswami's commentary on 2.1.39. Huh? Explain Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary on 2.1.39. Now you will active. Yeah. 10 marks, right? Yes. Everyone will become active now. So you have to explain here. So in this karta karma kriya, you should understand first. Saha. Saha kaha? Saha. Saha means he. Who is he? Virat Dharana Siddha, the expert in Virat Dharana. Who became expert in meditating on Virat? That person. Saha means what you should take? You should write like this only in the exam. Saha means the person who became expert in meditating on Virat. And what he should do? Saha. Saha. Tam. Tam means him. Tam bhajeta. Should worship. Saha tam bhajeta. Saha tam bhajeta. Okay. Then tam means him. Who is he? Whom he should worship? Sarvadhi Vrutyanubhuta Sarvaha. Who is he? Whom he should worship? That yogi, expert. Expert should worship him. Whom? Sarvadhi Vrutyanubhuta Sarvaha. What is the meaning of this? Sarvadhi Vrutyanubhuta Sarva. The whole game is here only. If you crack this word, then you will be getting the full marks. Otherwise, you will fail. Sarvadhi Vrutyanubhuta Sarvaha. How to understand the meaning? Sarvadhi. What are the words are there? This is total one word only. Sarvadhi Vrutyanubhuta Sarvaha is the one word, and he is the one whom we should, the yogi should worship. So Sarva, now you see, Sarvadhi Vrutyanubhuta Sarvaha, Jiva Goswami is expanding like this. Sarvabhihi dhivrittibihi gnanendriyaihi anubhutam sarvam viradgatam yena tatha bhutah san. If you write as it is Sanskrit, it will be well and good. Or otherwise, if you write in English, that is also good. Like now you come. Virat Rupa, Virat is there. In this Virat, there are the various sense, knowledge senses are there. Yes or no? Jnanendriya. Sarva dhi means what you should take? Sarva means all. Dhi means Jnanendriyas, knowledge senses. That means Sarva dhi means all the, sorry, Sarva dhivrutti. Dhivrutti means, Sarva means all, dhivrutti means Jnanendriyas. That means knowledge senses. Sarva dhivruttibhihi means by all knowledge senses. Anubhutam means experienced. Sarvam means total. That's now you come to understand. Thus everything which is experienced by all knowledge senses. And that everything is in where? It is in the Virat. And this experience, everything is experienced by whom? By this. He is the person whom we should worship. You are understanding? No? That is a Narayana. Narayana. Board. Sarvadhi Vrityanubhutam, na? Sarvadhi Vrityanubhuta Sarvaha. Sarvadhi means, Sarva means all. Dhi Vritti means knowledge, senses. Anubhutam means experience. Sarva means everything. Everything experienced by, you should take by, Vritti, by all knowledge senses, by whom? He. everything experienced by the knowledge sense, by all knowledge senses, by whom? Is the this one. Sarvadhi Vrityanubhuta Sarvaha. That means the person who experiences everything, the person here you should take, this is the meaning, this is the person. This is the person. We should worship this person. Who is that person? The person who experiences everything by the knowledge senses, by all knowledge senses. This everything is in where? Is in the Virat. Virat Gatam. Who is that? That is Antaryami of. Who is this person? Is the Antaryami of Virat. You got it? Neelambaraha or Pitambaraha means what? Pitambaraha means, Pita means yellow, Ambaraha means garments. So what is the meaning of Pitambaraha? Yellow garments? Huh? No. The person, here the meaning is, you take box. It's a Bahuri Samasa. The person who wear yellow garment. Similarly, Sarvadhi Vrityanubhuta Sarvaha is the person who experience everything by all knowledge senses. Who is that person? Where? Everything in where? It is in the Virat. Virat Gatam. Who is that? That is Antaryami of Virat. And who is that? That is Satyam Anandhanidhim. And this person is what? Is the next said. Satyam Anandhanidhim. Okay. Got? That means basic is Saha Tam Bhajeta. Saha Tam Bhajeta. Saha Kaha? Who is that? Kaha means who? Who is that? The expert in meditating on Virat. That person, what he should worship? He should worship Tam. Tam Kam. This person. Sarvadhi Vrityanubhuta Sarvaha. And also who is he? He is also Satyam. And he is also Anandanidhi. And also he is Sarvadhi Vrityanubhuta Sarvaha. Tam Bhajeta. Should worship. That means what? Finally, so Sukadeva Goswami is saying, oh, once if you become expert in the Virat Rupa, it is not the final success. Now you come to the meditating on Antaryami of that Virat, who is experiencing all the everything through the all senses of that Virat. Yes, like how example is given. Example is given here. What is that? Swapna janekshita kaihi ekshitai kaiha. This is explained here. Tatra tasya sarvanubhutau drishna. Example is given. So example is given. Atma means swapna drashta. That means the seer of the dream. That is jivaha. Yatha swapnagatanam sarvesham jananam tad upalakshitanam vastunam cha ekayeva ikshita bhavati iti. Like you see, when we get dream, we will be having in the dream so many people, so many objects, and so many articles and animals, many things. And all of these objects are watched by one person. Who is that? That is a soul, Jiva. Similarly, in the Virat, there are the all individuals are included in the Virat only. It is a sum total of individuals is equal to the Virat. So all these experiences, what are happening through these knowledge senses, are seen by the Anubhuta, means here seen, okay, by the Antaryami of that Virat.
Just like we in awakening stage, we see the things, articles, just like laptop, table, room. When person goes to sleep, he sees the same things. So I want to know whether things that these things are existing in subtle form also, like gross form, this existing. Otherwise, why is able to see the
They
things? Just dream, whatever happening in dreams, the things, persons, articles, places, what we see gross form in the awakening stage. So my question is whether all these things are existing in like subtle form also.
these articles are like, example, you take this duster.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any subtle form.
So
It is gross material only.
Okay.
But what we see in our dream, the impressions of these objects are stored in our memory.
That means that time, that
Yeah.
that domain,
You create from
you
that
create,
samskaras.
that means they are existing that time, and just like as long as person is seeing the dream,
Yeah.
is a dream stage, that means they are existing, that reality is there, we can say. Na, when he comes out, there's no more reality, or we can say there's no.
In the dream, so many objects are created. Created by whom?
Vritti, sanskar.
In the dream, many objects are created. You are seeing a beautiful house. You are seeing beautiful river. You are seeing the beautiful hill and so nice environment and flowers, birds, and forest, gardens. You are all seeing. Who is creating all those? Who is the creator? Tell me.
Mind.
Mind is the
Empress.
Who is the creator? Mind is the creator. Who is the creating that? Mind. Mind is creating, or Jivatma is creating? Mind is creating, or Jiva is creating?
Jivatma is not creating. Jivatma is simply observer.
But mind is creating.
Vritti, based on.
So mind is creating. Mind is not creating. Hut.
Mind not
Who is creating? Lord is creating. Who is creating? Lord is creating. Who is the creator of all the creations?
Lord.
Lord is the creator. So Lord is the creator of even the objects in dream. So that's why, but those are all created with your impressions only by the Lord. If you don't say Lord is the creator, then what will happen? The Lord is
out of picture.
Is not the creator of everything. So that's why even the objects of dream, this is the Vaishnava Siddhanta. What you should remember, this is the Lord, Supreme Lord is the creator of all the objects in the dream.
So we can say.
So these objects are created with the impressions of Jiva only. And that's why, since these objects also created by the Lord, so they are their time being. And that's why you are enjoying your karma. Based upon your karma, you will be getting the different objects in your dream, and you are owning them, and also you are experiencing them. For example, you are having such a karma you don't find, you have only one day for the marriage life. Huh? And also, there is no suitable, that means karma, who is having to be your wife. Then Lord, what he will do? He will create one woman in your dream, and you will be having marriage for there, and you will be finishing, and it's finished. Karma is, your one day marriage life is finished, over. So that's why karma is also finished by the dreams. You may have the big accident, and but that karma maybe sometimes will be finished by the, yes, because you are feeling suffering or not. When you get this, some tiger is chasing you and you are sweating, your body is sweating or not? Yes. The same pain you will get. When the real tiger chases you, in the same way, whatever fear you get, the same fear you will also get
In dream.
in dream. Yeah. It's not necessary that everything, but that is, there are also so much. Karma Siddhanta is also very difficult. But dream objects is also are created by the Lord, and through in that way also this will be finished. Okay. So, but who is observing all these things? Is a jiva.
Individual person.
Yeah. Yes. Huh?
This kind of dream means chasing a snake or somebody else.
Huh?
Chasing tiger, snake, or somebody else's dream. If it is often time, means most of the times, then it is also
His karma is like that, because in the last life he was with the snakes. He was like that. That's why he's getting that. If someone is in the previous life is a demigod, he'll be getting the dreams of flying in the sky. If you are the hunter, so you will be having a bow and arrow and having a horse and riding on that. And you are a thief. You will be. Yes. If you are a murderer, you will be killing the people. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Anyway, last question about this.
Yeah, not about the
Yeah.
dreams.
Hmm.
Here, as per the Jiva Goswami commentary, we
Yes.
have taken the word Saha as the person who is expert in the process of meditation.
Hmm.
But here in the Srila Prabhupada translation, he has translated Saha as a supreme person.
Saha is?
He, within the bracket, he has put supreme person. Text number 39.
Acha.
But I don't know why he has taken like this.
Saha is the karta.
Yeah, you have taken as a karta.
Saha is the karta,
Yeah.
and tam is the object.
Object of.
And that tam is also further explained sarvadhi vrityanubhuta sarvaha.
Yeah.
Because Acharya Jiva Goswami is saying Saha means Tatha Bhuta Virat Dharana Siddha. Tatha Bhuta means which is explained previously in this 20 to 38 sloka. So we explained the Virat Dharana. So whoever Tatha Bhuta Virat Dharana Siddha. Siddha means that means who became expert. Saha yogi. That yogi tam bhajeta. Tam bhajeta, should worship him. Who is he? Sarvadhi vrityanubhuta sarva. Actually, here one more point. Sarvadhi vrityanubhuta sarvaha, you can take as that expert of the that expert yogi. You can take that expert yogi. So like here you see, this became expert on the meditating on the Virat Rupa. So then what will happen in the Virat Rupa, whatever is experienced by anyone, everything is included in the Virat Rupa. Now this yogi became expert. So then what will happen? Then if anything is experienced or anything is happening in that Virat Rupa, is also realized by this expert yogi actually. Okay. That yogi tatha bhutah san. Actually, you have to correct this. This person is not antaryami. This person is that expert yogi who is a sarvadhi vrityanubhuta sarva. One mistake actually happened. So sarvadhi vrityanubhuta sarva. That person should worship. But tada bhutah san, being like that, should worship satyam ananda nidhim. Oh, actually, next point I didn't read in that commentary. So Satyam Ananda Nidhim means what he is writing? Jiva Goswami is writing that Virat Antaryaminam is the Antaryami of Virat Rupa. Okay, Antaryami of Virat. Okay, sorry. This is Sarvadhi Vrityanubhuta Sarva. Who is that? This person is who is that? Expert yogi. Okay. In the word to word meaning, that is not according to the Jiva Goswami. Huh? Yeah. Okay, clear? One small correction. Understood the point? Sarvadhi Vrityanubhuta Sarva, who is that? The expert yogi who is able to meditate on complete Virat Rupa. He became expert now. Now anything happens in the Virat Rupa, anything is experienced by anyone in the Virat Rupa, then that is also experienced by the expert yogi. Like example is, if anyone is having a dream, there are so many objects, all those objects are seen by that person who is dreaming. Clear? One change actually, you understood, Prabhu? Sarvadhi Vrityanubhuta Sarva, we changed it as the expert yogi. And he should worship Tam Satyam Ananda Nidhim. Satyam means, here Ananda Nidhim means Antaryami of Virat. That yogi, who is expert in the Virat meditation. Because he is also experienced, because he is expert of the Virat Rupa meditation. Na? So anything is experienced in the Virat Rupa by anyone, everything is included in the Virat. If anyone is experiencing individually, that sum total is also is known to this expert yogi. Only for that, only for the yogi. Example is like this. In example, what the person, anyone is dreaming, he will be in the dreaming, he will be having the numerous objects, so many objects, like so many people, and but he is that the dreamer is watching everyone. Yes or no? The same way this expert yogi is, anything happening in the Virat body, he is experiencing that. Yeah. Or he is seeing. Yeah.
Of this Lord Sarvadhi Vrityanubhuta Sarva, that means everything experiencing whole creation.
Yeah.
But when comes to Vyasti, that is individual person, he cannot experience everything. At just like
but only one Brahmanda, na? Not all the millions of Brahmandas. Lord is having such a capacity in millions of Brahmandas, whatever is happening, he can. But this yogi is particular to this Virat.
Just like we are individual body, just like I'm in individual body, I can, what is happening in my body, I can experience, but not others' body.
Similarly, now if you become expert of the meditating on Virat, then anything happening in the Virat body, you can experience, you can know.
So Virat body, that means one should not take a sense like that. Lord, I means in the sense.
He is not Lord. Lord means like that millions of Brahmandas.
Okay, okay.
He is having the watch on those. He is watching all those. He is observing all those. But this yogi cannot. He cannot go beyond this Brahmanda.
Okay, okay.
Okay, clear? So, Anyatra Virat Gate Tadharana. In online, can you open? Online students, any question? You understood what the change I made? Okay. Okay, next, Sarva Tasya Sarvanubhutau Drishtantah. This is the Drishtanta. Tatra tam ityanena sa aikshata iti swabhaviki gnana cha. Okay, tam. Okay, these are all. This is also. You can write. Okay, we'll read the translation. One should concentrate his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who alone distributes himself in so many manifestations, just as ordinary persons create thousands of manifestations in dreams. One must concentrate the mind on him, so the only all blissful absolute truth. Otherwise, one will be misled and will cause his own degradation. So actually, this point is not reflecting in the translation. Sarvadhi Vrutyanubhuta Sarvaha is not reflecting. That means this expert yogi being the observer or the experiencer of the everything. So by these all the knowledge senses in the Virat body being like that, so should worship the Antaryami. This expert yogi being what? Tataha bhutaha san means being the observer of everything of Virat should worship the Antaryami of Virat. Experiencer of everything means Sarva Urdhi Urtyanubhuta Sarvaha. You can write, all of you can write or not? Huh? Otherwise you will fail. 10 marks out. Purport. Huh? Yeah. 5 marks. Okay, 5 marks. Reduced marks is good for me. No problem. Purport in this verse, the process of devotional service is indicated by great Goswami Srila Sukadeva. He tries to impress upon us that instead of diverting our attention to several branches of self-realization, we should concentrate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the supreme object of realization, worship and devotion. So ultimately, after worshipping the Virat, finally you should worship the personal form. That means the beautiful form, that's the transcendental form of the Lord only. Then what is the need of doing worship of Virat? Directly worship, directly meditate on so beautiful Samsundar. What is the problem? Like this, Suta Goswami also said previously. Where he said like this? Suta Goswami also said like this. Not this same point, but in this manner he said. On TV on. Suta Goswami also said previously. What he said previously? Previously, Suta Goswami in the second chapter, what he was saying? Atah Pumbir Didishreshta Varnashram Vibhagashaha. Before to that, he was also saying one more point. What is that? Tasraddhana manayo gnana vairagya yuktaya pashyanti atmani chatmana bhaktya shrutagrihitaya. Before to that, he is also saying, Dharma sunishita pumsam vishvaksena katasyaha notpadayet yadiratim sramaeva hi kevalam. If you do any dharma, that should lead to what? Getting the taste in hearing Harikatha. Yes? If you follow any dharma perfectly, it should lead to what? Getting the taste in hearing the Krishna Katha. Yes or no? And also, if you do Shravanam, Shrotavya, Mantavya, Nididhyasitavyasya, even if you want to do you're hearing all the Vedas, and after that contemplating on that, then finally realizing the object of that Vedas, that is Vasudeva, and worshipping them. So this also process is explained. Ultimately, everything should lead to what? Huh? Taste in, getting the taste in Krishna Katha. So that's why Sotu Goswami said, Are, that is only the final goal. Tasmad ekena manasa Bhagavan Satvatam Pati Srotavya Kirtitavyascha Dhyaya Pujyascha Nityada. He's saying, ultimately all the dharmas and all the duties and everything should lead to the getting the taste in the Krishna Katha. Then why don't you hear directly? Instead of doing the practicing all these and gradually getting this taste, better directly start hearing. And by hearing this, what is happening? Hriday Grandhi. That means this knot, bondage to this material world will be cut down. So after hearing this, are you not getting any taste to hear Krishna Katha? Krishna Katha, what it will do? It will cut your entanglement with this material world. It will cut that knot. Then are you not getting any interest and taste for the Krishna Katha or not? Cool. That's why he is saying. So Yadanudhyasina yuktaha karma grandhi nibandhanam chindanti kovidastasya kona kuryat katharatim. Kona kuryat, who will not do? Who will not get the taste for the Krishna Katha after hearing this much great advantage? By hearing Krishna Katha, so he will be freed from this material world, material samsara bandhana. So that's a kona kuryat, who will not? Instead of doing the dharma and becoming perfect, and finally that should lead to the katharati. Simply here. Same way here also in this chapter, Sukadeva Goswami also saying finally, hey, Virat Rupa, you are meditating on that and you are purifying the heart, and finally you should meditate on the Antaryami of the Virat Rupa. What is this? Directly meditate on Antaryami. There, following all the dharmas and Varna Ashrama dharmas, and finally those will be leading to the, so for satisfaction of Hari you will be doing, that will lead to the Krishna Katha, hearing, taste for the Krishna Katha, that should lead to the taste for the Krishna Katha. Then what is why you should wait for that much time? You should start now only. It doesn't mean that you should not follow your dharma, you should follow. But ultimately, Krishna Katha only is the goal, then why don't you take up now? By this, what will happen, this Krishna Katha? By hearing Krishna Katha, your bondage to this material world will be finished. So, kona kuryat katharatim? Who will not do? Like this. Okay? Wow, big purport. Final purport will read this. In this verse, the process of devotional service is indicated by the great Goswami Srila Sukadeva. He tries to impress upon us that instead of diverting our attention to several branches of self-realization, we should concentrate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the supreme object of realization, worship, and devotion. Self-realization is, as it were, offering a fight for eternal life against the material struggle for existence, and therefore, by the illusory grace of the external energy, the yogi or the devotee is faced with many allurements which can entangle a great fighter again in the bondage of material existence. Material existence. A yogi can attain miraculous success in material achievement, such as anima, lagima, by which one can become more minute than the minutest and lighter than the lightest, or in ordinary senses. One may achieve material benedictions in the shape of wealth and women. But actually, when you're meditating on the Virat, you will be getting this. What? You can off that. So what is going to happen? Funkal, you stop this. Huh? You remove it. Yes. So, what? When you do the meditation on the Virat, you will be getting these so many powers. Anima, Lagima, Mahima, these Ashtasiddhis. There's a great chance to be get deviated. Once again, you will be coming back. By getting these siddhis, you will come to once again material world and material samsara and applying those and getting the so much enjoyment. That's why it is not so easy. Like following the strictly dharma and impressing the Hari, and that is leading to the taste for the Krishna Katha is also very difficult. So that's why here, what is recommended? The recommendation is one should directly worship the, and instead of worshipping the Virat, you should worship directly, meditate on the this. That's why this is the advantage actually. After hearing this Virat Rupa's explanation, what is the conclusion we got? My God, this much meditation is not necessary. We should best bargain, best benefit is meditating on the Hari is only good. We cannot do this. And while you meditate, when you meditate on the Hari, he will take care actually. He will directly take care. If anything, anima, lagima, ityadis, all these powers you are getting, he will immediately so take care you so that you will not be bewildered by them. But when you do the Virat worship, he will not take care. You are, worshippers of Virat are not the devotees. There is some tinge of devotion is there, but they are not devotees actually. Devotees means who are worshipping the personal feature, means the transcendental form of the Hari. He is the devotee. Devotee means what? Seva actually. Bhaj sevaya. Or in ordinary sense, one may achieve material benedictions in the shape of wealth women. But one is warned against such allurements because entanglement again in such illusory pleasure means degradation of the self and further imprisonment in the material world. By the warning, one should follow one's vigilant intelligence only. The Supreme Lord is one and his expansions are various. He is therefore the super soul of everything. When a man sees anything, he must know that he is seeing is secondary and the Lord's seeing is primary. One cannot see anything without the Lord's having the first to see it. That is the instruction of the Vedas and the Upanishads. So whatever we see or do, the super soul of all acts of seeing or doing is the Lord. This theory of simultaneously oneness and a difference between the individual soul and the super soul is propounded by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. So here, that's why in the Upanishads, what is said? Chakshohu Chakshur, Srotrasya Srotram, Granasya Granam. Lord is the eyes to the eye, is the nose to the nose, is the ears to the ear. He is the eyes of the eyes, he is the ears of the ears, he is the nose of the nose. Because actually, who is the real seer? Is the Supreme Lord. Because he is the Paramatma, he is the Sarvakshetragna, he is the knower of everything. And first he sees, then after that, according to your karma, he will sanction. Paramatma will sanction how much you should see. There is a lot of many things are there. According to your karma, you will be seeing the things. Not everything you can see. Whatever he sanctions, that much only you will see. And he sanctions based upon your previous karma. This theory of simultaneously oneness, that means simultaneously he is seeing and also he is different from the seer, individual seer. So this is known as Achintya Bheda Veda, or the gigantic feature of the Supreme Lord, includes everything materially manifested. And therefore, the Virat, or the gigantic feature of the Lord, is the super soul of all living and non-living entities. But the Virat Rupa is also the manifestation of Narayana or Vishnu. And going further on and on, one will eventually see that Lord Krishna is the ultimate super soul of everything that be. So that's a Virat Purusha. Virat is also one kind of manifestation, but it is material manifestation of Vishnu. Yeah.
Just like our body is that, and the body residing in the soul, that is soul is residing in the body within. Similarly, Virat form, Virat Lord, and that is soul of Virat Lord is Antaryami.
Yes.
Just
Is that the
like,
Garbhodaksa?
Garbhodaksa Vishnu.
Yes.
So as our body diminishes and destroy, the
Yes.
similar way the Virat form's body also destroy.
Yes.
It's like this temporary and destroyed. Like
Is destroyed. At the complete annihilation, it will be finished.
Virat forms also.
Yeah. It means all these formation is also explained in this 10th chapter. So once again, reverting at the pralaya, same way it will go in the reverse way. First, Adibhutam, Adidhaivam, Adhyatmam, these energies are coming together, and that started manifesting in the form of the as hands, legs. Is explained in the
Virat is Virat form and Virat Lord is the eternal. So how his body is?
it's not transcendental body, na?
Hmm.
It is only material body. That's why. The conclusion is that one should unhesitatingly become the worshipper of Lord Krishna, or for that matter, his plenary expansion Narayana and no one else. In the Vedic hymns, it is clearly said that first of all, Narayana cast a glance over matter, and thus there was creation. Before creation, there was neither Brahma nor Shiva. So, what to speak of others? Sripad Shankaracharya has definitely accepted this, that Narayana is beyond the material creation and that all others are within the material creation. The whole material creation, therefore, is one with the different from Narayana simultaneously, and this supports the Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva philosophy. Okay. So Lord Sri Chaitanya, okay. Being an emanation from the glancing potency of Narayana, the whole material creation is not different from him. But because it is effect of his external energy, Bahiranga Maya, and is aloof from the internal potency, the whole material creation is different from him at the same time. The example given in this verse very nicely is that of dreaming man. The dreaming man creates many things in his dream, and thus he himself becomes the entangled seer of the dream, and he is also affected by the consequences. Here, dreaming man creates means, so actually, dreaming man is not the creator, but the creator is Ishvara only. You should take like that. Ah, okay. These objects are created for him. Jivatma is not a creator actually. Okay, any objects. Those are created for him based upon his karma and samskaras, whatever he is having, and given to him. And he is watching those. He is only watching those. This material creation is also exactly a dream-like creation of the Lord. But he, being the transcendental super soul, is neither entangled nor affected by the reactions of such a dream-like creation. He is always in his transcendental position, but essentially he is everything, and nothing is apart from him. Actually, Prabhupada is establishing differently, but here dreaming example is given for what? How that expert yogi is seeing the everything what is happening in the Virat. In the to explain this point, we are taking the dreaming example. So Jivatma, who is seeing the objects, who is having the dream with many objects, he is the seer of everything. That is the main purpose of this Uddhishtan.
Is a dream like, not exactly dream. Yeah, somebody says this is dream also. Lord is dreaming. So
This
can you
Prabhupada
please-
is giving the another point. Sometimes what Prabhupada goes some other track actually, off track. That means maybe contextually that is not the point, but he adds some points. Not off track, I cannot say off track, but it is. He will be adding. So he's saying material creation is like dream-like creation. Dream-like creation means even Advaitavadis, they say it's a material world is like dream. But in what sense we are saying material creation as a dream? Why you are laughing? What is happening? Both? Tell me. Huh? Something is happening between these two. Tell me. Huh? What is that? Yeah. Later, huh? Achha. Ujjwala, huh? चुपचाप रहते हैं इन लोगों को. Silent person is more dangerous. Person who is very silent is more dangerous. Okay. So dream, why like you see, Parichinnavada and Pratibhimbavada is there in the textbooks, our Upanishads and our Granthas, the scriptures. But what Vyasdev is saying, Parichinnavada and Pratibhimbavada, he is saying you should not take the Parichinna and Pratibhimba as main meaning. You should take the secondary meaning. How to take that also he explained. Ambuvat Grahanat and also so Vruddhihrasa Bhak. By using these two sutras, he is explaining how to take in Shastra someplace if he said Jivatma is the reflection of the Brahman, there how to understand this, that sutra is explained. Similarly, here material world is dream means it's not the way we should take like Advaitins. Dream means it is for time being it's there and it is finished. Similarly, this material world also is for time being it is there and it is finished.
Material world.
That means when you are in the ignorance, you will be, when you are in the sleep, that means that is ignorance, then you will be having the dream and you are enjoying that. But when you come out from that ignorance of the sleep, then there is nothing is there. Similarly, till the time you are having entanglement for this material world, you are not Jivan Mukta. So then you will be getting the pain and pleasure of this material world. But when your self is realized, then nothing is affecting you. You are beyond to the Sukha Dukkha, Labha Alabha, Jaya Apajaya, all. You'll be beyond that. In that sense, we can take. But not that this like dream is not having any existence, it is finished. Similarly, this is a Maya and it is not at all having any existence and it is finished. No. That they take another kind of meaning of the creation of the dream. Creation as a dream. Okay. Anyway, that is we'll be discussing in the further text. It will come in the other parts of this Srimad Bhagavata only. There we can discuss elaborately. Okay. We are running out the time actually. Instead of starting, second chapter is not started. As a part of him, one should therefore concentrate on him only without deviation. Otherwise, one is sure to be overcome by the potencies of the material creation, one after another. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita as follows. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punasthani kalpado visrujyamyaham. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, every material manifestation enters into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I again create. So everything comes into the Karanana Savishnu, comes out. The human life, however, is an opportunity to get out of this repetition of creation and annihilation. It is a means whereby one may escape the Lord's external potency and enter into his internal potency. So that's why human life is a junction. So it's a junction to go to out or inside. So that's the end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the second canto, first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The First Step in the God Realization. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So questions? Others can leave if you don't have any question, because in the class time also I have given time for questions, and you are not forced to stay. Okay, whoever is having questions, they can ask.
Prabhu, if I heard you correctly, just now you said that universal form is material form, it's not transcendental. But Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita 11.5 in the purport, first line, it is transcendental, but it has the characteristics like it is temporarily manifested and is subjected to the time.
Yeah, that Acharya's commentary, that is, Vishwanath is commenting. So in Bhagavad Gita, whatever form is shown to the Arjuna, that is out of his Atma Maya. That means that is due to his transcendental energy. That is a transcendental form. And with the Kala Shakti, actually. Kala Rupa is also mixed in that. So that way, so that is transcendental only. That's Acharya, our Acharyas are commenting. That's what Prabhupada is saying. And this is what? This is purely material. Not saying. But we are seeing alternatively, Prabhupada is mentioning. I was also thinking, if someone asks this doubt, then how to ask, how to answer? That is the point actually. In the Bhagavad Gita, Vishwarupa, that is shown to the Arjuna, Acharya's comments that Vishwarupa is out of his own potency. That is a transcendental form, not Virat Rupa. Okay? You can read the commentary on that verse. Atma Maya, that word will be there in the sloka. There, if you see the commentary, they are writing that is transcendental form. Okay, this is purely material form. What we are reading here. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada. Online students, do you have any question? Kholiye thoda. Okay, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Chaitanya Jivan Prabhu.